I want to do this talk on planting flowers for bees, because here's a great example. You cannot match this house, right, when it comes to planting flowers. She is chock-a-block full of flowers. Look at these flowers here. I don't even know them all, but they're just gorgeous. And one thing you'll notice is there's no bees, right? There's not even any solitary bees. I've been watching this house. Look at these beautiful flowers here. You can just smell the pollen on this honeysuckle. I think this is honeysuckle. This is all bee passion. Look at this here, smell. Actually, here's a solitary bee. Here's a little solitary bee. Little guy, right? So she does have little solitary bees, but there's no social bees. You don't know about solitary bees because ultimately the only thing people talk about is social bees, but actually, here's honeysuckle. Look at this. This is opening up in here. Up there, look at them opening up. Honeysuckle. This is honeysuckle right here. Honeysuckle right there. This is a form of wisteria, and there's a little social bee on it. So she does have few social bees, not many. First one I saw, look, it's up there, little social bee. But this should be honeybees, should be on here. It should be bumblebees, everything. It should be crazy with, with activity. But there is none. There's no activity. Beautiful little white flowers here. Again, no social bees. Where are the social bees? Where are the honeybees? So, honeybees are social bees, right? Oh, I just saw a little guy fly. She does have a few social bees. What she needs is a social bee habitat here, which maybe I can talk to her. Look at these beautiful flowers up here. Look at these here. And I can just smell the pollen on those. This is the tree that had the social bees on it. Some more honeysuckle, or like strawberries, brambles, some sort of berries. Looks like a berry, blueberries or something. Here's a bunch of roses about to come open up here. Little ladybug. Look, little ladybug here. You can see that here. Interesting. Here's one. Real cool one here. Look at this one here. Black. It's like the Japanese ladybug right here. He's got like two little dots on it. I don't know if you can see that there. Right? On there. I don't know if this is leaf cutter bees. I got little sections cut out of these right here. See these little sections? I think this is leaf cutter. Maybe. Or maybe something's eating it. I don't know. This is kind of big. Right? I don't know if this is leaf cutter or not. There's something under here. It's a caterpillar. The caterpillar made its little nest out of twigs here. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. Little twig nest. There it goes. It's trying to fly. Here's a beautiful spider. I don't know if you can see this. Look at that. So here's some more. Look at this garden she has. Just chock-a-block full of flowers for bees. But the thing is, except for a few I've seen so far, 2, maybe 3 social bees, maybe, there's nothing here. Absolutely nothing. Some roses over there. I love this garden. I really want to put a social bee habitat here. And maybe I can talk to her. I can smell it. Yeah, this is mint right here. Mint. Little flowers. These, there you go. Here's a bumblebee. One bumblebee. Oh no, that's a carpenter bee. The carpenter bee. Watch me grab him. See me grab them? See? They don't sting. They love this tree. He's all over this tree. One carpenter bee found this little oasis here. She's actually seeding, trying to seed them here. They're not seeding very well. This one may have seeded. It's drooping a little bit. She's got these trying to seed here. But I want this tree. I want to splice this tree. I'm wondering if she would let me try to splice it and grow it from the branch. There's a carpenter bee. Look at these here. See a little social bee? That's number 4 I've seen so far. Here's another little guy right here. I don't know if you can see him here. Little guy. That's social bee. Not social. Solitary bee. Solitary. I'm dyslexic. I'm messing up my social and solitary. Right? I can smell the mint. There's a lizard down. I don't know if you can see that lizard. Can you see that lizard? I'm gonna try to. I can't. I'm gonna touch his tail. There he goes. He's got all these. They're gonna open up here. Buds. I don't know what kind of flower it is, but this is really a haven for bees. And what we need to do is build a social bee habitat, which he's ignorant of, that the family is, and have more social bees. Social means solitary bees coming out here. So if you're thinking about, planting flowers for bees, it's not going to help. Why it's not going to help is because the reason why bees are dying isn't because they're starving to death. They're dying because they're being poisoned. They're being poisoned by very sophisticated pesticides that just came about in the 1990s. And the 1990s are very expensive. They're proprietary. They're called systemic pesticides. And basically their patents have run out. Now anyone can make them. They're becoming common use. The older pesticides are being replaced by these systemic pesticides. They're water soluble, which means they get into everything. So once you use them, they get into everything. Not only that, they have a 15-year half-life. A 15-year half-life. So you're basically turning a place into, Chernobyl. Well, now synonymous is going to be the Japanese city that's full, which is ruined. So we're basically creating a poisonous habitat for bees. Not only that, they came out in 2000, they came out with systemic pesticide treated seeds, which means basically this is that if mice, if birds, you're going to see a die-off of lots of species already happening. A lot of recorded, like birds dying, right, because they're eating this systemic pesticide, and just builds up. The thing is with bees, is that they can't adapt to the toxins. They don't have anything to remove the toxins. So what happens is they just die, right? They can't detoxify. They're missing the enzyme to detoxify. So, so this stuff builds up. And the other thing what's happening especially with social bees, solitary bees, it's just one bee and they plant a bunch of eggs and they may have a little bit of pollen that they're eating on. But the thing is with social bees is they go and they get this pesticide pollen, they store it up, and then what happens is the worker bees then feed this poisonous pollen to the larvae, and then they become sick, right? The systemic pesticides are neurotoxins, and what they do is they actually weaken the immune system of bees. So all of a sudden become more susceptible to mites. And there's this Varroa mite epidemic. Well, it's because their immune systems have been compromised. So it all boils down to one thing, and that is pesticides. You remove the pesticides, the bees will come back. You remove, I believe they will. So the cool thing is, you know, we can change this, but we've got to want to change it. And the only way to change it is by stopping using pesticides, especially these systemic ones. But, you know, all pesticides are bad, and there's EPA data that clearly shows that bees have been dying since the introduction of pesticides in the 1950s. You've seen a decline of bees. We've gotten to a point now where they're crashing. We're talking about 80-90% of beehives crashing in Europe, right? Because of these pesticides. And we're going to see, if these social bees are crashing, then what do you think is happening to the solitary bees, which make up over 20,000 species, okay? Most of the bees we have in the world are solitary bees. And not only that, there's no one rearing them, right? They're being exterminated. And that's a really, really big problem.